Okie dokie. Welcome, welcome back to the Fundamentals of Fundamentals podcast. This one's going to be a doozy because we have my good friend, dude. I love you, man. We got SlyGoomba, and this is a long time coming.
Yeah.
Say hello. Say hello to the audience.
Hello to the audience. How's everybody doing?
Try to be less enthusiastic.
No, man, podcasting is wonderful because I am a psycho and I'm just like, I'm having thoughts. I'm going to message fundamentals and tell them what the fuck is going on in the world. And you simply responded, I don't understand what your rant is about. Let's just rip a pod. It's like, all right, buddy.
That sounds like
that. I don't know if it's worthy of a podcast even, but it's just thoughts that I've been having lately. I don't know. Being in Bitcoin, we all have thoughts all the time. I've been
hold on before you're like, holy shit, man, you're in fourth gear already.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for reminding me that we actually have stuff to talk about. So we're gonna right now we're gonna talk about whatever was on your mind.
Oh, you didn't even remember that aspect. Okay, yeah.
We'll figure that out. I just want to give you an introduction so that the audience knows who you are.
Everybody knows me. I'm very, very popular.
You've been living in obscurity for a while, but I want people to understand your relationship to me a little bit.
Sure. Do you want to?
Yeah. I've owed you a podcast for a long time.
Why do you think that?
Because you were one of the first people to have me on your show, meaning you were one of the first people to reach out to me to have me on a show. Meaning, so like. It was High Hash Rate. That's like, those were the guys that put me on first time ever. Got me my first little taste of what it's like to do a podcast. You know, perfect. Of course, they would like get me started in this addiction. But then you were right there. You were like, and I think our High Hash Rates episodes were very close to each other. But then you were right there to have me on, and I didn't think you liked me very much, to be honest.
I don't like anybody.
Yeah, and that's just that was my read on you. But I thought that you had a little something. I know you probably really. I think it's true. You don't like anybody, and I agree with that.
You know what it is? Here, let me comment on that real quick. I understood what your job was, and I have no. Don't say it like that. I don't understand most jobs. And I come back to what I do for work. I work with my hands. I fucking was digging holes with a shovel today. That makes sense to me. Somebody that spends their time looking at computer screens or fucking punching numbers in, I'm just like, how did you get to this point in your life? And why are you a valuable person? I don't get it. So your job as an actuary. I was like, I never even heard this term before. What do you do? And you explained it to me, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like that's a completely irrelevant thing that the world needs. That's not about
I was on you. So you had me on your show before I got fired from my job, and this does go back. But I really did think you had a little extra something for me, but it wasn't like I don't hold you wrong for it. I have that effect on people because I talk in a certain way with a certain amount of conviction and gravitas, and people who don't yet sort of understand it are like, dude, who the fuck is this, dude? I'm gonna kick the tires. I think you're just one of these guys. You're like, I'm gonna kick the tires in this guy.
Yeah.
Understand what the fuck, right? So we had this episode, and it was like good. It's just like I felt like I disappointed you every question you asked. You were like, did you have that magical moment? You asked me, you're like, did you have that magical moment when you spent Bitcoin for the first time? And I'm like, no. And you're like, ugh.
I'm an asshole, dude. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on what being a Bitcoiner even is, and I'm kind of even getting sick of that term. I'm almost ready to tell people like, what is a Bitcoiner? A Bitcoiner doesn't exist, and that's coming from me, somebody that I very much identified as a Bitcoiner for a long time in my life. I would introduce myself. The guy I'm working for now, I introduced myself when I said, "Hey, my name's Jeff. I'm a Bitcoiner. If you want to know anything." And now here we are, 5 years later, 2026. Bitcoin is what it is. It's like, to be a Bitcoiner doesn't mean fucking any. I don't know if you swear on your show. I'm trying to swear less. To be a Bitcoiner means nothing. Like it is.
You've listened to me before. No,
I know, but I'm so sick of that term. I'm a Bitcoiner because it's been so like nobody's ever defined what it was. No, and people that do say I'm a Bitcoiner, it's like what the fuck does that mean? You think you're better than everybody else because you save money? Like, to be a Bitcoiner is probably the worst term you could use to describe yourself. Better terms involve father, brother, son, uh, you know, CEO, fucking. There's so much shit you could say about yourself that makes more sense than to say, I'm a Bitcoiner. So I'm just kind of over that term. And so I've been looking back at like my whole career as a Bitcoiner. I'm like, man, I've been a fucking asshole for a long time. Man, I really, and like, here's the thing, Bitcoiners are right. We are going to win. We're fucking proven right time and time again. But it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. Maybe that's just me evolving in my Bitcoin life, but it's just like, I'm not, I don't even want to consider myself a Bitcoiner, because to be a Bitcoiner is like the bare fucking minimum.
I know exactly why the term Bitcoiner stinks.
Oh, okay.
Why it was cool last year, or sorry, 5 years ago?
Last cycle, yeah.
It was cool 5 years ago and it stinks now. You want to know why?
I do.
Because 5 years ago, Bitcoin was cool and now it's lame and gay.
It is, and it's just,
right?
It's boring.
Yeah, like, I'm not joking,
fucking,
right?
It's like, it's, I don't know, we have to admit it's captured. Paper Bitcoin is here. It's not going away. The 21 million cap doesn't fucking matter anymore. There's going to be infinite it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Strategy is going to keep buying all their paper Bitcoin. There's going to be enough Bitcoin for everybody that wants it. They're all going to buy their fucking sats on Coinbase. Coinbase isn't going away. And it just, the people that use Lightning to transfer value back and forth, which I'm a part of a community that does that, the day is never going to come where the world wakes up to this. That day is not coming.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and you know what? It's like the world hasn't woken up. It's not, we don't need the world to wake up, and that's the thing. And we don't need Bitcoin to be cool. Mm-hmm. It was cool when it was. I mean, you guys are lucky that you caught. I don't think I ever really was part of Bitcoin when it was cool. So like, I don't have this. I'm not as upset about it as you guys are. I didn't have it, but I had like, I had fish when they were cool.
Sure.
They're still cool, but like, I was part of a lot of cool things. It's fine. Bitcoin doesn't have to be cool for me.
Yeah.
And I understand that it was for you, and it's hard to be in the world now the way it is. It's hard to see posers and dorks like having their way. It's fucking hard. Right? So the best you can do is kill your identity and try to figure out how to live your life.
Yeah, exactly. And not
because Bitcoin hasn't changed, right?
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
The price hasn't even changed from when you got in.
Exactly. Nothing changes. Everything stays the same. This is like, I really like the pod that your buddy Luke and I can't remember his real name, Boomer, is doing. That's a great show that they're running, because it's a Bitcoin podcast without Bitcoin. It's great. But yeah, Bitcoin was cool. It was fun. Like, I remember the day that the laser eyes thing started. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. We're going to change the world. It's just like, once you realize you can't change the world, you just have to live your own life and enjoy it. And like, most people are stupid and they're not. It
just doesn't have that oomph when you realize you can't change the world.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can change your own world, and that's what you have to focus on.
So I was on a podcast like a couple of weeks ago, and I said that I started saying something a little different. I started saying, like, I'm not here to end the Fed, like, but I am here to build people. Okay. And if the Fed wants to end, I think I do think there's a trajectory where, like, whatever those goals are, really, whatever the goals are that like leads to this meme. I just think end the Fed, first of all, it rhymes. It's a good meme, but it's fucking bullshit. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think like destroying institutions should be a goal of people's. I'm okay if it happens, obviously. Very happy if it happens. But I think that we can achieve, I mean, I see the line of how Bitcoin will eventually be a forcing function for a level of fairness we don't understand right now in the world. right? I do think that. I still think that.
Yeah, I don't think that anymore.
But I don't think that is because it destroys institutions. You know, I think institutions get destroyed on their own, with or without Bitcoin. But I don't. When I say if it's a forcing function for a level of fairness, maybe we don't understand. It's not like I don't think that's happening in our lifetime. Like I don't. It's one of those things where like the world just turns too slowly for us to really see it. And the way humans are is if we don't see it in, it's like we don't see it in a year, we start to crash out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think this is I've really discovered my role. Like my role here is like I'm not here to be the cool guy that you know tells you how awesome your life's going to be. Like I'm an elder in this community, and my lived experience I think is very helpful because I don't get caught up in a lot of these things that make people crash out, and I think I can help young bucks navigate this a little bit better and not, you know, dude, I can't imagine like, you know, I have this thing where, so when I was, you know, when the internet came out, everyone in my age cohort was saying the same thing, which is, dude, thank God that I didn't have internet porn when I was growing up because holy shit, that would be bonkers and I would not have been able to handle it. Like every Gen X guy said that in like the mid 90s.
Okay.
Right. And all I could say is thank God I didn't have the dream of Bitcoin when I was in my 30s. Because that might have been too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely pie in the sky. Bitcoin's going to solve the world. I mean, I still think it will. I still think it's going to fix a lot of shit. It's just going to happen a lot slower, and there's going to be a lot more bullshit in the middle of it all. I think that's a frustrating thing. And so, yeah, dude, I want to talk about ending the Fed. Actually, that you brought that up. That was kind of that's what I was ranting about to you on Telegram there the other day. Is
perfect.
The thing that really runs the world that I don't understand why it even matters anymore. And I know people are probably going to say like this guy contradicts himself so much, and I do, but it's fine. The most important thing in the world of finance, which I was thinking like a couple hours ago, I'm like, I wish I didn't even fucking know this shit. My life was so much simpler back then. But interest rates, dude, like it's all that matters is the Fed's interest rate. It's the whole economy is run. We just had Jerome Powell leave. Other guy comes in. Oh, what's he going to do? Is he going to raise or he's
a Bitcoiner?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's a fucking Bitcoiner.
We should pose for the open mouth thumbnail right now, by the way.
So here's my issue with the interest rates and how it doesn't make any sense. And I'm hoping that you, with some sort of background in money and finance, can explain this to me. My question is, why do they matter at all? And expanding on that, it's like the government of the United States of America creates treasury, what are they called? Treasury assets, treasury bills. The Fed buys these bills at a given interest rate. The government is never going to pay them back. So if the interest rate is at 7% or at 2%, or at 30% or at 1%, they're never paying it back anyways. So why do we care? Why is it like, oh, interest rates are low, they're going to print a bunch of money now? It's like they can print a bunch of money, whatever the interest rate is, because they don't care. They don't care. Oh, no, interest rates are so high right now. It doesn't matter. Trump can say, well, just issue a bunch of treasury bonds. Who gives a fuck? This shit's never getting paid back. And so I think about it on the individual level, right? So me as an individual, I get a credit card out. I'm in debt, I'm broke, and I have no money, but some company decides to give me a credit card, and the interest rate is 23%, whatever, right? Like, okay, cool. How much do I have on it? $5,000, $10,000? Cool, I'll go spend that. Oh, well, the interest, it's getting so high. It's like, I don't care. I'm never paying it back. I'm never paying it back. So it's like, well, what if you got a credit card at 3%? Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. How much are they going to give me? $10,000? Okay, great. I'll spend it all. Oh, well, you got to pay off the interest. Like, no, you just don't pay off the interest. individuals don't pay off the interest. The government doesn't pay off the interest. All these interest rates are all bullshit from the fucking ground up. And it's kind of that's what was pissing me off. It's like, why is the economy run by what the Fed does with interest rates if what really matters is the printing of money, and the printing of money is always going to happen regardless of what the interest rate is? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Okie dokie. I got a few things, a few fundamentals we got to get in place. Okay. So first thing is not all interest rates are determined by the Fed. Okay. Only one interest rate is determined by the Fed. It's a pretty important one. It's like, despite everything you said, not all of it is correct.
Well, everything is that's like called the prime interest rate, and then from that,
yeah. So basically, like the overnight rate is what the Fed sets, and what it's true that the government never pays the interest back.
Yeah,
but it's definitely not true that individuals don't pay it. They do.
No, they don't have to though.
I understand that. Like they don't have. They probably theoretically, I learned on Twitter, they don't have to pay taxes either.
That's right.
Do. Yes.
Okay.
But they still do, and so the government pretends to pay it so that all the people pay it. They're like,
how do they pretend to pay it? They pretend to pay.
Well,
it
they do.
Issuing,
they do. They have.
They just issue more bonds. They're only paying it by taking out another loan.
You remember when Magic Johnson supposedly got AIDS?
I remember this story. Yes.
Like it's almost like even Magic Johnson has to go through all this. You can get it too. It's like, by the way, Magic Johnson never got AIDS. That's a big rabbit hole psyop, by the way.
It's like Magic Johnson is a generation before me. I think I know of him, but I don't really know this story that well.
Anyhow, he was the biggest star in the world, there was, and he, let's show everybody that anyone can get it. It's the greatest athlete in the country. Let's make him get it so people understand that anyone can get it.
Okay.
Everyone does pay interest. People pay the 23% interest, believe it or not. Now, a lot of people so in the United States, if you don't want to pay your debts, you are allowed to not do that, but you will go bankrupt.
Yeah.
You'll go bankrupt, and that's
who cares? Why do people?
Well,
care
most people,
and
a lot of people. Some people don't care, but a lot of people do care. And you know what?
Because
I'm going to say
something. Up to thinking that it's
that's
bad.
fine. I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion right now. This is not something a Bitcoiner is going to tell you. But if you're going to go into debt, I say you should care, and you should honor your debts.
Why?
I think that it's beyond bad karma to not honor your debts, and yes, you can get away with it, but I don't think that is certainly not any kind of godly path that's going to benefit you in the long term. And what you should do is avoid debt. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. You should avoid debt, but okay. So, if it's a moral issue that you should pay your debts back,
I didn't call it a moral issue, but I didn't say it was a moral issue. That's what you just
said. Yeah,
I didn't say it was a moral issue. I said that.
Redefine it then.
Okay, I think in the matter of your life working. Okay, like in that matter of structural, and I know I that was confusing of me because I mentioned godlike and all that stuff. So I get it. I get why. Maybe I that was badly communicated. So sorry. It's not what I meant though. What I want to say is that imagine the structure of your life. Okay, it has a certain structure to it. Going into debt and not paying it back, or going into debt with the intention of not paying it back, is definitely a recipe for your life not working. Okay, and it's like a recipe for your life being in a worse state, in a dysfunctional state, a much less functional state than it was prior. If you had to borrow the money, unfortunately that's a result of a lack of sovereignty. A sovereign person doesn't need to borrow money, right? And unfortunately, we're not sovereign, and some people are so unsovereign that they actually have to borrow money. And then among those, some people actually try to pay it back or pay the interest, and you get locked into a very bad system. But what I'm trying to say is people generally do pay it, and it's a really small minority of people that just tell their counterparties to go fuck off.
I think that's changing, man. There's a lot of ads right now for companies that are taking people's credit card debt and saying,
Well,
are you drowning in debt? And is debt ruining your life?
Yes, that happens. And that happens at a cost. You're right. And you know what? My theory is I think the reason why we keep rates at this level and not any higher is because they want people to actually pay their debts back. See, it is different at 3% than at 23%. At 3%, you might say, oh, I don't want to ruin my life. I'm just going to pay the 3%.
But it doesn't ruin your life. Why do you think it ruins your life?
I'm speaking for a large population of people. I'm not speaking for myself.
Okay.
I don't go into debt. But
yeah.
So
I'm thinking, so I guess I'm just thinking more of people that are my generation or younger that are already like all the things Bitcoiners say is true. Houses are out of reach for your average 22-year-old kid that's just got out of school, got his first job.
Unfortunately, yes, that's true.
You're making what? You making $25 an hour? You think you're killing it? Sorry, a shitty house is like $750, $1 million. It's like, do the math. You're never buying a house. So what do? You throw all your money into having fun and doing whatever. And then meanwhile, you're just trying to get by. So you're literally paying for food. And then you can't, like, there's people right now that are just entering the workforce, right? That are living at home with their parents, barely getting by. So these interest rates, it's like, it just doesn't matter, man. Like, and this is why it's frustrating talking to Bitcoiners, like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to fix all this. Like, no, it's not going to fix it, man, because this system's going to be, it's just,
do you understand every company in the world pays these rates too?
Yes.
Everybody who transacts in financial markets pays these
rates. But who doesn't pay them? The banks are the ones. So where do credit cards come from?
Well, they
come from
most
banks.
Certainly do. They most certainly do pay. They most certainly do pay it.
Yeah, but they're issuing the credit cards.
I understand.
With money that they didn't have because of fractional reserve banking.
Okay.
So then I'm an individual. Bank says, ooh, do you want a credit card? I say, yeah, sounds good. I want to buy fucking whatever. And then they say, here you go, have $10,000. They don't have it. They don't have the $10,000, but they expect me to pay back $10,000 plus 23%. And you're telling me that this is bad for my life? Why should individuals?
I'm not telling you. I'm just saying that the consequences. You won't be able to ever.
You won't have credit. You won't have a credit score. Yeah, who gives a fuck about a credit score?
I think there's more. I do think, again, not even in a moral sense, but like the intent to do something dishonest is probably something that's.
But it's not dishonest.
Structurally bad.
The way the system, it's a tool. Use the tool as it's intended. Oh, here, you can borrow money. Pay it back. Oh, sorry, I don't have the money to pay it back. That's a tool. That's how the government that's how the entire fucking government functions.
You're assuming you're a sovereign in this system.
Yeah, I'm a Bitcoiner in this system.
You know what I mean? If you were a sovereign in that system, you would have the agency to say it's a tool.
Yeah,
but you don't.
Well, it is a tool. It's a tool for everyone. Credit cards are fucking treasury bills. They're all just tools to print.
It's a tool that has consequences if they're not used the way they want you to.
There's no consequences. The consequences are done now. Doesn't matter. When the government says, oh, our debts are due, the debt ceiling is
reached. I don't know what this argument. I'm trying to understand the argument. Are you saying that they don't matter because you hold on? Are you saying they don't matter because SlyGoomba doesn't care about it, or you think that it doesn't matter because every single person in the world doesn't care about it?
No, because I've realized that you don't need to care about it, and this is the real thing that ought to happen. Is most people should realize that all this, like, as much as fiat is a problem, every Bitcoiner knows this, right? The real problem is giving a fuck about a system that's the way it works is so stupid. So why do you care?
This is why you're crashing out. This is every time we talk, dude. You force me into the position of arguing for like the banks.
It's I know. That's why I like talking for you. Yeah,
it's starting to get upsetting. I'm not.
Join my
I'm not
side. Be a
advocating.
Bitcoiner.
I'm not advocating for them or the system. I'm just like trying to explain to you, young buck, like that. It's not. Everyone outside of you does care. Unfortunately,
Yeah, but
I know they shouldn't. You're right. They shouldn't.
Yeah,
Right. It's absurd, and they shouldn't do it.
That's what my crash out is about. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
And like,
no.
when are they going to figure it out?
Yeah,
It's just like when are they going to figure out they don't have to pay taxes?
So it's like there's these different buckets of people, right? There's the 30.
Dude, I'm waiting to figure out. Sorry, people who aren't in debt with like $30 million in the bank. When are they going to figure out they don't have to go work the fucking demonic stupid job? Like, I'm just wondering when that's going to happen too.
Yeah, that's just great though. Like,
no, it's not. They already can't spend any more. No, it's literally like reputation and how you look.
Oh, sure.
It's not greed. It's retardation.
It's if you identify,
it makes less sense than paying your debts back. Makes less sense.
Some people, their whole life is just about being better than other people. That's fine.
Well, it's just that, you know what it is, dude? You know what it is? We are conditioned to be prisoners even when the jail doors are open. We just still want to sit there. Okay? We just sit there, even though the fucking jail door is open and the red carpet is rolled out for us to walk out. Something inside of humanity, a lot of people living today just want to choose to sit in that jail.
Yeah.
They get 3 square meals. They're comfortable there. They like their cellmates, and they're going to stay.
But you're a perfect example of somebody that didn't do that. You had one of these jobs. You said, "Fuck this! I'm going to go start 12 podcasts." Why did you choose to do that? Because you're different. Because you realized everything's stupid. So why would I waste my life doing a job that I hate? Right.
Well, yeah, and I have because that actually was a big fight. I mean, it was a really, really big fight for me. It still is. This is the hardest I've ever played live on in the last 2 years. But it's great for me. Like that's the cost. There's a price to be free. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just people either understand that it's possible and there's a price and they're willing to pay the price, or they're just not. And I don't think most people want to be free.
No, I agree. I agree with that completely. That's why it's just like, that's why.
And so expecting them to is like expecting the sun not to rise. Okay. You're going to crash out every day. When the sun rises.
Those aren't the people I'm talking to, though. The people I'm talking to are 30-somethings that are in debt, that are starting Bitcoin, that are still worried about credit card bills and all this shit.
But they will make no dent in the Fed's existence. When you understand, because the majority of the people that are paying the interest back. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why are people worried about this? Like, interest rates are stupid. I guess they don't matter. It just doesn't.
Well, okay, I don't fully agree with you there, but I know where you're coming from, and this is you're just tapping into my autism, that I can't accept what you're saying as truth.
Yeah, because even though you know it is.
What's that?
Even though you know I'm telling the truth.
Well, no, I disagree. Hold on. If I'm going to lend somebody, if I have a buddy, it doesn't have to be an interest rate, but if somebody asks me, can I borrow $1,000? I am going to if it's not a buddy and I don't know them, right? I'm going to want something. I am going to want something in return for that in that transaction, right?
Yeah. It's just chewing you.
That's right. I can't help it. I can't help my blood.
Yeah,
I bleed, my Jew blood. It's like, if I'm going to lend you money, I should get something. I should get something in exchange for you getting to hold my capital. I mean, doesn't that make logical sense, though?
Yes,
I can't use that capital. I can't use it. I can't use it. I can't use it on anything.
Mm-hmm.
It locks up my ability to use it. I should get I'm providing liquidity for you.
Mm-hmm.
I should get something for that.
Well, then,
no.
Yes. Okay.
Forget debt, right?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. My counterpoint would be, pie in the sky Bitcoiner is like, in the future, just have friends that not even lend you money, give you money if you need it. If you're going through a hard time, like like think of a parent to a child. If you give, I don't know if you personally do this or not, but if you lend your kid, $100 to go to the movies, are you expecting them to pay you back? Maybe you can ask them, hey, yeah, I want you to pay me back. First, you're not going to ask them for interest on it, definitely. Two, you're probably going to assume you're
The
never
juice
getting
is
that.
running.
You're probably going to assume you're not getting that money back. Like just assume that
It
that's
depends on
spent
the
money.
agreement, and it's like you're getting into an area though where like I'm teaching a lesson to my own child. So like
Sure.
I understand. Like maybe if it was a friend's child, I would never ever
Mm-hmm,
expect interest,
right.
right? But like with my own child, I would demand that they uphold whatever agreement we made
Right.
because I value that. That's like a strong value of mine is keeping my word. Keeping my word,
Yeah.
no matter who it's to, no matter what kind of lizard I gave my word to.
Mm,
Nothing is more important than keeping my word. And that is I'd say I'm sorry, but that is a value that I have and I teach my kids. And my advice is not to give your word to lizards.
yeah, definitely.
And
That's a good way.
the pursuit of sovereignty is the pursuit of never having to give your word to a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the only reason you ever would is because you just found out you weren't sovereign.
Yeah, and you're trapped in a hole.
You understand what I'm saying? So so to me, the value of keeping my word, unfortunately, in this like type of scenario would have me do something that doesn't make sense to you. Because for me, keeping my word is that important.
Yeah, I get that. I guess, I don't know. I just bring it back to
That's not what everyone's thinking, I assure you.
no, most people. I think where you stand is good, but I just think that I don't know, man. Like,
I know it's upsetting.
I know.
It's just
I try and
upsetting
say
for you to accept the fact that the fucking NPCs are not. They're never going to let the world change in a certain way.
no. It's upsetting that the people that you're borrowing money from know that they're scamming you. Not to say Bitcoiners speak again, but like getting a loan out from the bank or whatever, mortgage, it's all bullshit. And for you to say, well, keep your word to them, it's like, I don't know,
Don't give
man.
your word to them. Don't
Just,
give
yeah,
your
just
word
don't do
to
it. Just don't do it. And that, like, so that's a thing, right? Are you 40, 50 roughly, right?
I'm
So it's
51.
like 51. Happy birthday. And
Thank
so there's people your age that own houses that are scared of going into bankruptcy because your house will be taken away from you. There's people that are 30 that just locked in, maybe some people locked in some mortgages and COVID and they're doing fine. And then there's people that didn't buy a house during COVID that are never going to buy a house ever. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless you come into some, I don't know.
The world does change. Actually, hold on. Let me old explain something. Because look, I think you're right in general. I really do. I really do think the world does suck that much. The world sucks exactly as much as you say it does. Except I just want to say that when I was 30, it was, I bought my first house. I don't know how that was. And it was a different time because you didn't need to put like hardly any money down to buy a house. So you could buy
put much down now, man.
It was 2004, and like those right, the cake, the global financial crisis cake was being baked by people taking out a second mortgage for the down payment. It was really fucked. Okay.
So are you saying by saying that you didn't have to put much money down, are you saying percentage wise or just like nominally wise or both?
Both. But like what I'm saying was prior to that, like even prior to that, so I was 30 years old at that point in time. So like the decade prior to that, I lived in a reality that I was never going to be able to buy a house. You know? Mm-hmm. I mean, all I'm saying is things. First of all, do you remember the 50-year mortgage? I remember it distinctly because I even remember where I was when I read the tweet that we were going to do it. And the reason I remember it so fondly is because like the president of our country, the United States, is a guy who wakes up every day. People think he's really stupid, but he's a genius about one thing, which is getting exit liquidity from his real estate.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is do not underestimate these people's desire to get exit liquidity. They can't. I'm saying it's not as dark just because if you believe in greed, they're going to want to dump their real estate bags on you at some point before they die or when their kids, their shitty kids inherit their houses. They're going to want to dump this stuff on somebody. They can't. Their houses aren't as valuable as they think they are unless they can sell them. And if there's no one to sell them to, then there's no value. Okay. And Bitcoiners should pay attention to this, right? If there's no actual market, right? If there's no medium of exchange for these things, then their value, no matter how scarce they are, is just not there. There's really just no value.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't, it wouldn't shock me to discover in the next 10 years that we innovate something like a 100-year mortgage, a billion-year mortgage, some way of creating exit liquidity, right? And making a home buyer out of people who are currently hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I don't mean to come across as hopeless and doomer. I guess I'd do that.
No, you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong to feel that way.
But that's the whole Bitcoin thesis, right? It's like, well, these people are going to try and sell their houses, and the whole market is stabilized by the housing market, at least in Canada. And so they can't have the prices go down. So they print the money to devalue the currency to make the value of the house look more expensive. Nobody will be able to buy it except for Bitcoiners, which is cool. Like, I'm
only
not
if
concerned.
you're willing to call yourself a Bitcoiner. Otherwise,
That's
you
right.
don't buy in the house.
People that have Bitcoin will have money that they'll be able to trade for a house at some point. I think that's true. But it's like, I don't know. I guess it comes back to like, why would you want to do that?
You got to live somewhere. Can't live in your Bitcoin, as they say.
That's true. Yeah, I saw a good tweet the other day. Somebody said it was like, why would somebody buy a car with their Bitcoin? It's like, well, you can't get your dick sucked in the back of your Bitcoin. I was like, that's a good take on that joke. That was great. But yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna. It just comes back to like, I guess I'm just crashing out about how stupid fiat is. Like that's what I do. I go on walks and I just think about how dumb this system is, and a lot of it comes down to the interest rates that the Fed sets. And then I realized that the government can't stop printing. That's how the system works.
If they can for
a little while,
couple of days,
a couple of days, yeah. But it's like, but at the same time, this is the other weird part of it is realizing being in Bitcoin, you see how good they are at kicking that can. It's just like
the best,
dude.
And don't ever underestimate them.
Yes. Yeah. The can's going to get kicked for so long. People are just going to get poorer and poorer.
Yeah. Now you could crash out over this, or what you have to do is you have to rewind your life to the point where you let some other Bitcoin influencer convince you that nothing stops this train or whatever it is. And you have to then say, oh yeah, okay, that's bullshit, because no, they will always figure it out. When I interviewed Larry Lepard, right? Mm. I have one very proud moment from that interview, which was I heard him doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
Do the math, right?
Yeah.
And I said, they're good. The government is really good at defying math.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. They do. But all the more reason, I really resent these conversations where it's not your fault, and because those are it's not your fault. They're so evil that it's not your fault that you're in this situation, and I feel like that's what takes away agency from people, is being told it's not their fault. Like, it's not your fault you're in debt. It's not your fault you gave your word to these lizards. It's true, probably to an extent, that it isn't, but I think living a life that assumes that it's not your fault is a life without agency.
Yeah,
and I just don't think that's the right approach for a winner.
Yeah, no, everything in your life is ultimately up to the decisions you make.
So I resent the influencers that give that messaging, and who cares? I'm just saying you may want to go back in time and rewind to when you sort of adopted this idea, like, oh, the government will always, they can't sustain this forever. No, I think they can. In theory they can't, but in practice they can.
Yeah. It's like Bitcoin doesn't work in theory, only in practice, man. No, absolutely. That's what's so annoying. Is just like watching this fiat system continue and continue, and like listening to people say like, "Oh, here comes the fourth turning." Not to shout at the Bugle Boys, but they're spot on too. Like there's so much talking about the best time in Bitcoin when it was like philosophy central in 2020 and 2021. And all these cool theories were coming out.
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I missed it. That's why I'm making up for it. That's why I have all the podcasts I have. I'm making up for all the time I missed. But this is
the thing, dude. Like here we are, fucking 5 years later, and most of it's bullshit. Like the government just going to keep doing what the government does. Bitcoin's just going to keep getting made paper. People are going to keep making paper Bitcoin. And there's just going to be this small cohort of people that have real Bitcoin. And I don't know. I don't think
it's a feature, though. You have to understand, though, that if you go back to 2009, this was all inevitable.
Sure, right? But nothing's changed, dude. Look at the great financial crisis, the GFC, every Bitcoiner's favorite fucking thing to cry about. It's like Larry Lepard said he was in the chair and he stood up and he fucking told the guys, "Yeah, what you did was wrong." It's like,
yeah, congratulations, you accomplished fucking nothing.
You accomplished nothing. They're gonna do it. They're gonna keep doing it. They're just gonna keep printing money.
I mean,
the interest rate doesn't matter.
I don't have a problem with or anything like that. It's just
it's good that he did that. I'm just saying
it's this rap. But what I'm saying is getting caught up in that rallying cry is like, I don't have a problem with people who sell drugs, right? But when people who maybe don't have the best mindset going into it, that's really I want to kind of help those people, right? Like there are drug dealers out. Larry Lepard's a drug dealer. Okay, right? I mean, he's a good one. The hopium is killer, and I think he probably is a net positive for Bitcoin because he gets boomers to buy ETFs. It's good. Okay, but and my issue is with our thinking, right? I want to make sure we have the best thinking, so that we can navigate this and not crash out because we fucking need each other, and we need to win together because we need each other.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think, I don't know.
I need you, man. And you need me. We don't even like each other, and we love each other at the same time. I love you dearly. We love it, yeah. And it's like because we fucking need each other.
But I just am kind of like the Bitcoin fixes this terminology.
Oh.
Like I'm kind of over that shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're ready to do a 4-hour rip today.
It just doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
Bitcoin fixes nothing.
I took a detox from podcasts for a fucking month, dude. I was just like, good. I can't listen to this shit anymore. It's all the same thing over and over again.
You've heard me. You know where I stand on this. Bitcoin wrecks things. It doesn't fix anything.
It doesn't do that. No, it just doesn't do anything. It's just there. It's just
Bitcoin is not just there. It is wrecking.
It's just there.
It's wrecking.
What is it wrecking?
It's wrecked my relationship with my wife.
Yeah, that's true. It wrecked a lot of my life too.
Okay, I am competently married. I'm successfully married. But Bitcoin has put marriages are hard to begin with. It's almost a miracle anyone could be in a marriage. It really is.
Preach.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but you add Bitcoin to there, and what the it's inconceivable that two people can now agree on anything. Okay. So look, it's a problem because, she didn't get my enlightenment about how great everything's going to be because we view money now as scarce when we used to have a lot of it. And that's supposed to be great for a marriage and relationship. And now haven't worked in 2 years. And I'm like, you have to trust me because of my conviction that she doesn't understand. That's supposed to be really great. Dude, what the fuck is Like that is Bitcoin makes everything harder so that we can one day be strong enough to start fixing some shit.
Okay, that hits hard. I think that's what it is. It's like Bitcoin makes everything harder, so
This
that
just
one day
became
we
a
can be
banger.
stronger. One day we can be stronger to start fixing shit. Yeah,
Yes.
dude, that was the problem I went through. I was like, I'm a Bitcoiner, I'm doing so good, and then I fucking lost my mind, ruined a bunch of shit, bunch of relationships, fucked up a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh, I haven't really done anything. I've just been sitting around podcasting, talking shit about how Bitcoin's going to save the world. It's time to wake up, grow up, and actually fucking take care of yourself. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I just see it in a lot of Bitcoiners that they're sitting there like Bitcoin fixes everything. It's like Bitcoin doesn't fix shit. Bitcoin, yeah, dude, what the fuck did you that what you just said was so good. Bitcoin destroys everything in the hopes that we'll be strong enough to fix them
It's
in the
accelerating
future.
the
I
weak
like that.
times. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's like accelerating the weak times,
Yeah,
creating strong men. That's
for
what it
sure.
is. And it's like, you know, hey, dude, one thing you got to give me, dude. I keep it real here, right? I mean, this is an unusual conversation for a Bitcoin podcast, but this is what it's about. It really is. Like we have to destroy the illusions that all of us that have shown up here have shown, the illusions under which we are here. You
Hmm.
know, go back. I have a rock paper Bitcoin episode called Bitcoin Rex Relationships. So I'm just like good at
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about this because
Hmm.
I've been forming this hypothesis for a while.
Hmm.
It wrecks everything. You know, by it we have it because it gives us these fucking dreams that are worth wrecking our life for, and then we do, and then we have to go. You know, the analogy is you throwing your hat over the wall so that you have to then climb over the wall and get your hat.
Hmm.
Right? Like you're marching, storming a castle, right? And there's a big wall. You just throw your hat over it so that you have to run and go get it, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin, for people like me, I won't speak for everybody, but for people like me, it made me believe in certain dreams that are possible in my life that were worth wrecking everything. Okay. And now I have to go become stronger so that I got the bad news. I came in for the good news, got all in, and then realized the bad news is I now have to go become stronger and do it all myself.
Yeah, man, it's weird, dude, because I would 100% agree with you like 6 months, a year ago for a long time. But now I'm like, why does Bitcoin have this effect on people? Myself included. Like, why did we need to find some fucking internet coin to decide to make our lives better? You
That's
know,
easy.
and
That's easy to answer though.
I know I've recorded probably 1,000 podcasts on it, but now I'm just like
Yeah.
forgetting.
I mean that is all to me. That answer to that question is timeless. Is at least when you say why in the year 2009 through however long it took, why did it have to come? The answer to that question I think is timeless and will always age well. It's just we all got psychotic along the way because we forgot what we forgot what the fucking mission was. We were
Yeah,
waiting for the price because we get crazy. The price going up makes us psychotic.
yeah,
But it's a feature. We have to evolve to like learn how to become wealthy without being psychotic about it. And
yeah,
like
dude.
every time we all got a taste, we got smacked back down. It's like shoots and ladders.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
you know that game, that child's game, shoots and ladders. Do you guys have that in Canada?
We call it snakes and ladders, I think.
Is it where like you go up a ladder, but then next
Yeah,
you
and
go
then
down a chute?
yeah,
It's
for
like
sure. Yeah,
one step forward,
yeah.
two
We
steps
have that
back.
game in fucking Canada. What a funny question.
Do you
Um,
fucking do you simpletons have that game that
I'm trying, dude. I don't know. I know I keep coming across like I'm crashing out. Even the episode I did with Dick, I was just like, man, I just was crashing out the whole time. I'm not trying to crash out. I'm just like realistically, I really think Bitcoin doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Like, there's so much more important shit in life. And then Bitcoiners will tell you, like, well, that's what Bitcoin provides you with the time to do that stuff. It's like, I don't
Well,
know.
can I retort? Can I retort that though?
Sure.
Because I agree. Bitcoin in and of itself, who gives a fuck, right? In fact, Bitcoin as adopted by what point? I can't do the math in my head, but what percentage of the world has really adopted Bitcoin?
About 12 people so far.
Right. So like there are dozens of us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter unless there's I don't know what the number is for it to matter, but it's a lot more than it is now. Okay. Bitcoin adopted by one person didn't matter. Two people didn't matter. You get up to like a couple 100 million, and I don't know, maybe it does start to matter. But like, that's one track. Okay. And another track, its mere existence, like, even if nobody adopts it, its mere existence tells us civilization that it can be adopted. And that is also, that's already kind of dangerous. So like it already exists and has the potential to be dangerous, but it won't do anything until people adopt it, and much more than it is now. And like it's not going to have that forcing function. Now it does something for you and I individually, obviously. So okay, it matters to me, but like does it matter to the world? It can only matter when a lot of people keep their balance in there, and we're a long way from that.
Yeah, for sure. The adoption, people using it. Yeah. I just think about like what did fundamentally, no pun, but what did Bitcoin provide? It gave us a system to realize how stupid the fiat system was, right? Like that. It's pretty much the ultimate goal of Bitcoin. Like, here's
But you
another
can't
way
take
to
it
do
like a
money.
red pill where all it does is upset you about how things aren't this way, because
No,
that's such a potential path that a lot of people go down.
but
It's
I'm
like
just like, why didn't? But like, gold existed, and that was an alternate path to money.
gold
And
was
like, I don't.
ruined.
Yeah, and I think Bitcoin's getting ruined by
Well,
all the pain.
I see.
I think we're there.
I
I
don't
think it's too
agree.
late, dude.
I'm not as. I guess I'm not as fatalistic as you about it.
I know I keep sounding so negative. I'm not trying to sound negative, man, but it's
I
like,
don't care if
dude,
you're negative.
they're
I'm
gonna
just
keep
saying that.
making fucking fake Bitcoin.
So
Like that's
so
just
what though? It's different,
so
but it
what?
is.
So it doesn't matter anymore.
That's not true.
Yeah, it does. Because what?
It's not
Who
true. It'll get correct. Those things will get corrected over time, and we have to learn how to use it. Here's the problem, dude. This is another version of the last thing I said. This is a fugue. You know, this is a variation of the theme. Human beings are not evolved enough to actually make Bitcoin work. The
That's
human
not
race
true.
is not
What?
yet capable of actually realizing a fucking iota of what Bitcoin promises and what we all talked about in 2021 on all the Think Boy podcasts. That's for a human race that's more evolved than what we are.
Yes.
Okay. We're not. And so that we have to become that. We have to do the upgrades.
Yeah, I don't see us getting there. There's too many stupids out there.
Well, right.
There's
And
too
so
many
you
people that are
have
gonna
to
buy it.
believe, you must believe. Now, this is the Jew talking. Okay.
Okay.
But I strongly believe in God. And I refuse to believe we were given this thing to not do the work to get to where we needed to go to make this work. I refuse to believe that. I believe in and I'm part of this. I am putting a lot of time into facilitating this upgrade. And I'm just one guy, but I know I'm not the only guy doing this, but I'm definitely somebody putting a lot of energy into facilitating this upgrade. I don't know how many chops of the tree it's going to take to knock the tree down. Right. But I'm going to spend my life chopping at that tree, and I'm okay. I'm at peace with that. And I'm at peace with that. Even if I never see it, because that's my purpose. I'm clear about this. I'm lucky that I see a purpose and that this is it. And that wakes me up in the morning. but like, I think it's really important to have not a Pollyannish view of the world, have a
Well, I don't know.
realistic
I don't. What does that word
operation.
mean?
What's that?
Pollyannish? Never heard
Yeah,
of it.
like you don't want to be Pollyannish, like say, oh, my affirmation today is that human beings are good and just and do the
Okay.
right things. And
Okay.
that's my affirmation for the day. And I believe you have to actually find something, you have to find it in yourself to, I think, believe in humanity. And when all else fails, you just can pray for it. Right? When all else fails, you say, okay, I mean, what else can I do? I must pray for this. I have to, this is the life I chose, that this is going to work.
Mhm.
And I'm going to trust God on this. And I have to, it's like a important discipline and practice to view the human race as capable of the upgrade. And, then we're going to start having different conversations, because it's going to be an upgraded, an upgraded version of humanity is going to be they're going to act better. They're not going to be great. You're still going to hate them, but they're going to be capable of doing this. At least it's like getting upset with people for, doing the best. Like they're doing the best they're capable of
Mhm.
for the most part. You know what I mean? It's like getting upset at the golf ball for going exactly where you fucking hit it. Okay. And it's like, it's pointless. And we just have to work. For me, I have to just work on this upgrade. What do I do? You know what? I'm starting at BitDevs. I mean, that might sound
Nice.
retarded, but
That's
like,
awesome.
I hope like every shitcoiner in Philly comes to it. I really do. Like, I don't even care. I don't think anyone from like my Bitcoin meetups are going to go to this thing, but I think like shitcoiners and college students, I hope they all come. And this is part of how if I'm going to be an educator, I need a classroom. And so this BitDevs is going to have a math track. And so I'm going to do a BitDevs once a quarter. And then the other 2 months, I'm going to do like my Magic Internet Math Academy. We're going to teach, the things I do that Rob and I do on the podcast.
Awesome.
Elliptic curves, zero knowledge proofs, things like that. It's going to be cool. And so I just found I got hooked up with the site that. So thank you, shout out to 21 Media and my buddy Jeremy who hooked this whole thing up for me, and shout out Zeus and Evan who's going to lead the BitDevs once a quarter as well. And so I was down down observing the site, and it's awesome. It's like it's a workspace. We're gonna get it's like a poor man's version of what New York has. And I know you've never been to New York BitDevs, but New York BitDevs is like amazing. It's in a really nice office building, Chain Code Labs. They get pizza delivered. They have all the best people up there doing BitDevs. We're gonna have what we have. It's a nice space, and I got to see it today, and it got real. And the guys down there were all like the guys who in the co-working space were like super excited about it. So look, it's just like you got to just I don't know. For me, I just got to roll up my sleeves and do the work and not care too much. Understand that's what a pioneer does, right?
Mhm.
The world's not like I'm not going to see the world change anytime soon. I have to be okay with that.
I respect you for doing that. BitDevs is cool. There was one that happened here in Calgary a while ago, and it was supposed to be in the library. Then it got canceled. It went to a restaurant. We all went there, and then I sat at a spot where I couldn't hear. But it was a good time, anyways.
BitDevs in a
Um,
restaurant is tough.
it didn't work, but we were just chatting with all the Bitcoiners in town, so it was fine. That's cool, man. I didn't know you were doing that. I'm excited for you. I
Thank you.
guess, and I'm happy you're doing the work. And the only part I take issue with is like, so I've dove a lot deeper into my spirituality, accepting Jesus. This is something that I've been very serious about over the past couple months only. So I'm very new to it. Although Jesus has always been a part of my life, I called a friend, my old co-host actually, and I was going through some things, and he helped me through that. And so, and this is really maybe where I've started taking issue with Bitcoin, because like Bitcoiners will say, um, everything's going to be better if what you said is like people are going to upgrade, or they're going to transcend, or they're going to the human soul and mind and spirit is not ready for a Bitcoin world yet. And I'm like, okay, but also, like, what matters is Jesus. That's what I'm realizing. And it's like, you don't need
Totally.
Bitcoin.
I agree. But let me ask you a question before you go on.
Okay.
I've been having this conversation with a lot of people I'm not going to call them Bitcoiners, but a lot of people who share our values.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'm a fucking Jewish person. You're the best at joking about it. So shout out to you. However,
I will minor joke.
I will tell you, you're awesome. Okay, but I will tell you this. So you may be shocked to hear this from me, but I do believe Jesus was sent to upgrade for a mandatory upgrade of humanity. That, like, I think that God was like, I'm either going to just murder all these people right now because they suck so bad, or I'm going to send Jesus to try to fucking level these assholes up so that I don't have to do that. I want to keep this going, right? So I view Jesus as the attempt to level up a fucking pretty much failed, or at least a human race that was pretty close to probably being, just
Decimated.
Circling the drain and not doing, not getting to where we were going to be. And Jesus came for the upgrade.
So yeah. In more of, and I'm not an expert, so like anybody listening shouldn't even be talking about this on a podcast.
Probably shouldn't be. I don't think any Jews think this.
but no, it's fine. But it's like, I found out over the history of the world, God came down and struck down many societies where he's like, you guys are messing up. I'm going to burn this place down. I'm going to take it all. And you guys.
Yeah, but he made a promise to the Jews through Abraham. And so he wanted to keep his word.
Mm-hmm.
That was the idea, right? Is like, except he was very close to like, fuck it, dude. Fuck my word, dude. These people suck. And I hate them.
That's the thing. And so here, I say a lot of things negatively, but ultimately I'm trying to get to a positive point.
He might have sent Jesus to love him because God was incapable of loving those people.
No, Jesus is God.
And Jesus was capable of loving all these people, and that's what probably made him.
Jesus was angry too. No,
fucking
Jesus
amazing.
he was mad too a lot of the time. This is ultimately what I'm trying to say, and I'm praying that Christianity is not just another one of my psychotic new
thing you're going to crash out about in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, please, Lord, don't let that happen. But like, the world would be better if everyone was a Christian. That's just the truth.
I could live with that. Do you know what? I can live with that more than I can live with you saying interest rates don't matter. Believe it or not. Like, see
it's all connected, man.
I see much more truth in what you just said. Believe it.
But this is the thing. So thinking that like humanity is going to go through some upgrade, and this is what's really pissing me off about myself that I'm trying to like analyze. Why was I so easily able to evangelize Bitcoin to a psychotic extent, telling everybody I met, talking to them for hours and hours? Like, I don't know. I've met some crazy Bitcoiners. I think I'm one of the craziest.
You want me to answer the question? You want me to answer you?
But why am I not able to do that with my newfound love of Jesus? And like, I want to go scream to the world. And
can I help you with this real quick?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you remember when I was on your podcast the first time?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you named it?
Oh my God, I'm a stupid person. Yeah.
So that was the realization that got me out of my last bout with slavery. Right? Oh my God, I'm a fucking stupid person. And you saw something there. Either you really saw an opportunity to troll me, or you saw some truth in there and some signal in there.
Yeah.
Because it's one of my favorite names of any podcast I was ever on. Oh my God. It says fundamentals. Oh my God. I'm a stupid person. And
it's
that
still
is
available on all streaming platforms.
That's right. But like, that is the answer, dude. Like, that is like, you really have to go through that without crashing out.
Maybe that's what it is, because I want to talk to people about Jesus and how important he is, but I don't have, like, I'm not articulate. I'm not educated. I don't know enough to share that. Like, I'm going to a men's group now every Wednesday. I'm trying to anyways. I'm talking to the guys. It's a church group. And I'm like, I don't know even how to pray correctly. You know, it's just like, there's so much. Well, there's so much to learn. And again,
you came into Bitcoin and you read every fucking book there was.
I did. Yeah.
You hit the you hit the rabbit hole as hard as anyone could. And you then you ended up talking about it.
Mm-hmm. I just think Bitcoin.
You are going to do that. You will do that again here.
Here's my conclusion: is like, Bitcoin doesn't matter if it doesn't bring you closer to God. And ultimately, what you need is a relationship with God to have a good life.
You will not make it. You will not make it. Yes, you will not make it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. People are like, why does this fucking Jew keep DDoSing this Jesus conversation? So I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's fine. But it's just like, so people that are saying, like, Bitcoin showed me that my life matters, and Bitcoin showed me that time is important, and Bitcoin showed me that the future is there. It's like, yeah, Bitcoin doesn't do that. I think most Bitcoiners are going to crash out. This is the other thing I saw, like, which is very, I don't know. Whatever I'll say. So, like, there's a tweet that goes around, or whatever, a common meme, I guess you would say, where it's like, I hope the next challenge God sends me is a crazy amount of wealth. And it's funny because everybody's pouring, they're like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we're all so rich? And then Bitcoiners are actually going through this. And that's where I fucking failed. Like, I realized, I had literally, hundreds of thousands of sats. And it's like, you watch that go up in value, and you're like, all my problems are solved. And you realize, well, if you don't really have a relationship with God, relationship with Jesus, and have your shit in order, you're just going to be the same piece of shit you were before, just with more money, and you're just going to make your problems bigger anyways. And that was the mistake. So I guess I'm just trying, like, I just want to talk to people that are going to go through shit and, like, realize all your problems, and this is so cliche too, but it's like, all your problems with money only get magnified. Like, if you're, money doesn't solve anything. It doesn't fucking solve anything.
The problem is the majority of people adopting Bitcoin are between the ages of 30 and 40, early 40s. No. I'm saying that's a problem because it's a feature, but it is a problem because you don't understand life yet. And so part of something that only an older person who makes their money over, it's like, dude, I was wealthy before I came into Bitcoin. Okay. So like, I dealt with a lot of that shit already.
Yeah.
And, but so like, I already understood a lot of that. Like, that was, I always understood that money would solve no problems. Like that was obvious. That was like obvious. Like, and I think it would be a miracle for people to have that going into Bitcoin, that money is not going to solve your problems, and fixing the money isn't going to solve your problems either. It's like that's the gayest idea in the world, right? Yeah. If fixing the money is going to solve your problems, no. And to be honest with you, I don't know what a fucking Jew is, but since leaving my fiat job 2 years ago, and you asked me why the fuck I would do that, it's because I have discovered a relationship with God and it took leaving my fiat job to do it, not having Bitcoin. Having Bitcoin made me annoying enough to get fired from my fiat job. But it's really not being a LARP. So like not being a LARP got me closer to God. Okay. Because, and then when I realized this, I realized what a deal with the fucking devil my job was, because it was keeping that from me. And so I am not going to go back to that. And it's like, that conversation is the only like little thread that my wife understands. And the only thing keeping us together right now is our relationships with God. And we feel like we're just going to meet each other again. We're going to discover each other again through this newfound relationship we both have. And that is the only real grounding we have for a relationship right now. And so we are desperate to please God, because the success of our life depends on it. And that's how, like, we're very devoted to each other in this way, right? And like that, you'd have to be. And I can't explain it any other way. And I agree with you, dude. Like, if you don't have a relationship with God, you're not going to believe that people are capable of this upgrade. You're not, right? You're going to be one of these people who believes that AI is going to fucking kick humans out of the world. Right, that we're gonna have. You're one of these people that believe humans don't even have a place in the world, and you get all excited about AI spending Bitcoin like that. That's the gayest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's a stupid.
Okay, so like, everything seems to come down. So the reason why I said the thing about Jesus being the upgrade at that time is that I do sympathize, not to like sensationalize this, but like Bitcoin is the newest path to the upgrade that's needed. I'm not saying it came from God to do this, but I think I can interpret it that way without getting in trouble with myself spiritually.
Sure. I like what you said there, that our relationship with God is, I'm going to go back and listen. You said the success of our life depends on our relationship with God, which I think is good for your relationship, but I think that's just good advice for everyone. Now, and this is the thing, dude, like I'm a psycho Bitcoiner, I'll say it a million times. I also thought Bitcoin was like the next coming of Christ. I really did think it was here to like fix people. But another thing that's been on my mind is like, I don't know how much of this you want to cut out. Like, I kind of just want to talk.
We're just going to wrap this. We don't even have to publish this if you don't want to. Fuck it. Let's just keep talking.
I started going back to church 2 months ago after all my shit happened in my life where I fucked up a bunch of stuff. And I asked God, I said, I just need you to send me a message, talk to me in my own language so I can understand you better. And dude, the pastor at the next church that I went to, his two things he was saying was, you have to be Jesus only, and Jesus has already won. He said that.
This is Pastor Jeff.
No, dude, it blew my mind, because what do we say? Bitcoin only and Bitcoin has already won. Those are the things that I said. And then he went on to explain, like, yeah, if you have Jesus and something else, it means that you don't believe that the blood of Christ on the cross is enough to save you.
Did he give you a book called The Jesus Standard?
No, dude, I'm not even fucking joking. Like, I was blown away.
That's wild.
He said those two phrases. I was going to tweet it out. I couldn't even figure out how to say it in a tweet. I'm like,
that is wild, dude.
You have to be Jesus only, is what he said. And Jesus has already won. And I was like, huh?
So you're already getting smarter, and you're getting so Bitcoin has like that's evidence of your upgrade. You are a slightly more advanced version of yourself from 5 years ago, because you might have found yourself in the same circumstance where you're really in need, right? I saw a great tweet from James O'Byrne today, if you know who that is. Solid ass dude. Just so. Anyway, it was something like that. It was something about God finds you in the wound. God operates in the wound. Something like that. And it was like you might have found yourself with this need, you show up to this church and he tells you this and you buy it. Right? An ordinary human being would buy that. But a slightly upgraded human being is like, dude, what the fuck is this? This is creepy. Right?
It's creepy is one word to describe it.
And
it's
you're
more
older.
like,
so you're partly upgraded because you're older. But also because of who you have chosen, the friends you've chosen who happen to be geniuses at breaking down memes that don't work.
Yeah.
Right? And that has that benefited you. I mean, you probably can't even begin to put a value on the benefit of that.
Yeah, no, you can't. And I think that's why I'm getting so frustrated with Bitcoiners. And like, it's because that's who I was. I guess
it's
that's
embarrassing.
What you do, right?
It's
when you see somebody making the mistake that you've made,
yes.
It's like, okay, my mistake was saving in fiat for so long, so I got pissed off when I saw people saving in fiat. Like, stop doing that, stupid, be smart. But now I'm seeing people do the same path in Bitcoin that I did for a while, and I'm like, just skip all the bullshit. Just skip it. Save your money. That's it. That's why I think the older Bitcoiner you are, you realize the less you want to say you're a Bitcoiner. Not because it's more just like this doesn't matter. Like,
I've been caught up. Listen, I got caught up, as you know. I got really caught up in social justice.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was what my identity was wrapped up in. And unfortunately, it took a lot more than 5 years to for me to get sick of it. I didn't have bugle friends in that game. You know, I didn't have smart guys to help me retire memes that didn't work anymore. Memes just compound, dude. You don't retire memes in that game. You just keep rolling. It's like rolling debt. You know, you just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. It took 20 years. It took enough time for me to build an entire life. Oh, and by the way, my entire marriage was built on this also. Okay. Yeah. So and Bitcoin didn't break this. This got broke so I could find Bitcoin. You know, this had to get broke first. So this got broke on its own. And my life fell apart, you know, it really did. It's normal. You know, it is a feature. Okay. Like, we get caught up in things, especially like, dude, you're an idealist. I'm an idealist. And that's where a lot of us who are friends in this space are idealists, and we're trying to get our arms around. Like, the thing that impresses me, frankly, about, you know, the Bugle guys, particularly Gracer, is how young he is to be to have the wisdom that they have. I mean, it's unusual. It's highly unusual. And we're lucky to have not just them, all of our friends in this game are just really, really valuable. And that's so for me, dude. This is what it's about, and this is why I do podcasts. I do podcasts to fucking find you guys.
To find smarter.
I need you guys. We need each other so much to not, you know, to be able to navigate the darkness, not give up, maintain. Eye on the prize is relationship with God is true sovereignty. That is it. Anytime you basically test your ability to communicate and to be with God, that's a test on your sovereignty. Right? The only reason people betray that relationship is because they'll say, I had no choice. You know, I had no choice. I had the way the world works. I had to do what I had to do, blah, 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 right? That's the real sovereignty, is the sovereignty to have the relationship you want to have with God. That's how I view it. And so, you know, that to me, that's eye on the prize. And then it's like, okay, so what do you have to do? What kind of life do you have to live? You know? You know, don't give your word to people who are like absolutely shitty, right? Don't give your word to people like that. And, you know, Bitcoin has this place. It's just like, air conditioning has its place in that, you know, like there are a lot of things that if they didn't exist, it'd be a big fucking problem. But that now that they exist, it's, you know, you use it but what are you using it for? Right. So, and maybe it's this circular thing where we need to upgrade so we can be upgraded. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, I know like God loves us, and I believe in Jesus. I just haven't been touched personally. I haven't been touched by it, you know, like experientially, but I believe in that. Like I have no problem. Like I feel like I have no problem with all of this Jesus idea. I'm into it. I wish I was touched.
That's exactly where I was for so long. Like I have no problem with it. I get it. But yeah, once
I
you
wish I
understand,
was touched. I would love to be touched by Jesus and know
or
what
read the
that's like.
Bible.
But
You
I'm
should read
not.
the Bible.
But I have my relationship with the Father. Okay.
You're missing
And
out a big chunk of it.
I do the best, and you know, like so that I can. That's what that's what I have. That's my version of, you know, that's my bank account. Whatever. That's what I own. That's
Yeah,
that's
get
what my
better,
proof
though.
of work has given me in my life, or whatever. That, you know, God cares about me in a way that I've been touched by God. Jesus doesn't seem to pay attention. It's fine. Maybe I
He's
haven't
paying
desperately.
attention to you, man. He's very much paying attention to you.
I haven't
I want you to
desperately
say
called
that.
out enough to
Yeah.
get the attention so that I feel like I'm telling you, like my daughter has told me she has felt Jesus, and I believe her 100%. And I think to myself, wow, you must be a better version of me.
Yeah.
And so that's where
Interesting
I
that you
am.
would say that.
That's like where I'm at with that. And to me, it's all about like where we go is completely limited and determined by the fidelity of like our signal with God, you know? And that's maybe maybe that might be all we got out of Bitcoin. And that would be enough for me.
Yeah, I think that, so this is what you said a little bit earlier, is like you left your fiat job because you were able to stop LARPing. And I just feel like Bitcoin allowed me to, and I tried, dude. I tried on my podcast to be as open and honest as possible, but I still think I bullshitted a lot. I don't know. I need to go back and listen and just be like, how much was I lying about my life? How much did Bitcoin really solve? Like, yeah, do I eat steaks every day? Yes, I do. Has it helped? Yeah. Was I doing better when I was walking out in the sun every day? Yeah, I was. But then somewhere along the line, I stopped, and Bitcoin didn't fix that for me. And I don't know why I stopped. Um, and then I just had to get a wake up call and be like, oh, hey, remember when your life was good and you were eating right and you were going outside and you were standing in the sun, talking to God? Yeah, do that again, stupid. Otherwise, everything's going to go away. And yeah, I got so sick of, and like alcohol was a big thing for me too. I stopped drinking for a while when I started Bitcoin, and then I got back into it, and then it became a big part of my life and fucked up a lot of shit. And then I don't know, man. Like Bitcoin is just this thing that's there that you can, I guess you can just you can see through the LARPers so easily. And I just got sick of my own shit. And like, that's what I don't want.
You have to love yourself though, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
That is, and
like, that's exactly what I'm trying to like. That's my new goal, is to tell people to focus on themselves.
No,
care about yourself.
No. I need you to love yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. I am doing that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you have to. I heard another great quote, something like you have to take the fucking tree out of your eye first before you can take the seed out of somebody else's eye.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, dude, you have to love yourself, and I think I'm here to tell you guys this, especially you. I like you guys. When I say you guys, you and my buddies in this space, especially you young guys, are very hard on yourselves.
I'm very young, very young.
You guys are young and hard on yourselves, and like I was really hard on myself too when I was this age. And you know what? When I was this age, I had a lot of inauthenticities that I didn't realize. There was a lot about me that was inauthentic that I didn't see. And so the reason why a lot of the good things that happen to you don't last is just because, you know, you want to talk about building on sand, right? The money isn't the sand you're building on. It's literally like, are you who you say you are?
Yeah.
And that's why keeping your word matters more than anything else, is so that you are who you say you are. And that when you build on yourself, you're building on a solid foundation. So like your life is about finding these inauthenticities and chiseling them away and then becoming your true self. And it takes a lot of time. So it's one of those things that does take time. And so you have to be like you have to love yourself. Otherwise, first of all, you can't find yourself inside of that, like a ball of clay that has to get sculpted into who you actually are. You can't find yourself. The way you find yourself is through love. And it's also the way you find God is through love. It's always love, right? And it sounds gay, but like that is how it is. That is the engine that does this job, right? The job of chiseling away the inauthenticities is by figuring out who you are and what you love about yourself. And it's really important that you don't fucking kill yourself every time you see something wrong. It's like getting angry at the golf ball, even though it went exactly where you, like 100% exactly where you were supposed to hit it. And it's like, you can't get angry at what God made. God made you this way, and he gave you this challenge. It's a video game. And you can't crash out every time you find out you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're all going to make mistakes. I think, I just think people are looking to Bitcoin to be a fast track to.
Bitcoin's irrelevant to this, though. It's like
no. That's what. Okay, so I won't talk. I'll talk about myself. I thought Bitcoin was going to put me on a fast track to becoming a better person. Like I really seriously fucking thought that. Oh, I'll listen to these Bitcoiners. Oh, I'll do the things that they do, and I'll be better because I'll have a better money and I'll have better health and I'll fucking, And it's like, it's all bullshit.
It's not though. It's a jetpack, but it's a jetpack. It's a jetpack for a person with a better relationship to their word. It's a jetpack.
You just need to understand that Bitcoin is such a very, very small part of it.
But yes, like you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like for a person who has a very strong relationship to their word, Bitcoin is a really powerful tool that has the potential to have a long lasting impact. But to somebody who is still very weak at, still has sort of a weak foundation. And look, the younger you are, the weaker the foundation is going to be. It's one of those things. It's like you have to like write blocks and do that work for a long time to become somebody. Like I said, it's very unusual for people in their 20s and 30s to be, as solid as like a guy like Reeser. Very unusual, right? Yeah. Like he started this process at a very young age, like I said, it's more typical to be like you and me. When I was your age, I was way dumber, way fucking dumber. And, but I did a lot of work on myself, and the thing is you have to be willing to see what a piece of shit you are without like crashing out on yourself, you have to find a way to love yourself. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm a musician and, comedian, and I have artistic pursuits that when I make something there are times where I've made things that I love so much that I had to love myself and say exactly how I have to be the exact person I am to have done this. Mm-hmm. And like, that's me with a weak spiritual sense. That's my path. Like when I didn't have God really to do that, I still could access that through creativity. But it took those things to say, wow, this to find love, right, for myself. Like I had to love something I made and say, wow, I could not have done this unless I was exactly this guy. Mm-hmm. Warts and all. Yeah. So like I just encourage you to be in pursuit of finding a way to really love yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to discover again. I've been sort of journaling. It's been pretty great.
It's like really important, dude. I fucking love you, man. I wish I could give you a big fucking hug from over here.
I forgot what I was going to say. Love yourself, fix yourself. Oh, hobbies. Yeah. So this is my, here's my more issues that I have with people. But like the biggest mistake I made in Bitcoin was like I gave up everything for 4 years to just stack. And I thought that would be a good idea. And it was a terrible idea.
It's fine, but you have to like look at the you that chose that and be like,
I don't know. I don't know if there's somebody else out there going through the same thing.
Dude, I
Ultimately,
went
that's
through
what
the same thing
podcast is
too.
about, right? Is
Dude,
like
I
I
hadn't been
gave
to a
up
fish show.
fucking.
Dude, I hadn't
I
been to
didn't
a
do
fish show in
anything.
4
I didn't
years.
do anything. I didn't do anything. I
I
used to
know.
have hobbies and shit. I did nothing. I did
You
nothing for
bought
fucking
in. You
4 years.
you really bought in. Like
I
you bought
lost my
into all
fucking
of the
mind.
narratives and you wanted to be part of that. And part
Yeah,
of
I
it
just
is like
wanted to.
the way you guys, I think the way your generation latches into social narratives and stuff like that is different. It's just like a little bit different. And yeah, you have to just like forgive yourself for being such a boltard.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it too. Yeah, like I
It's
for sure was bull-tarded forever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the difference, right? Is like you said, you came in, you were already wealthy. I was had a lot of credit card debt when I came in. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna fix all my problems by just stopping living for fucking 4 years, 210,000 blocks. That was the worst decision I ever made. So I don't know if there's going to be new Bitcoiners, right? Like, what the fuck are we podcasting for if not to talk to people that are hopefully going through similar shit? It's like,
That's right. And that's why I do it. That's
don't,
why I do this. I want to keep it real because I actually resent these people who keep this fake image that they have this great family life. Like, I don't see how that's even possible. And so, like, I just want to be super real. By the way, when I was your age, I was drowning in debt. In my 20s, I had to go to a debt consolidator. Okay. And this was
mhm.
like, interest rates were very
how
high.
how dare you do that? You
Well,
didn't
I
keep
did
your
it and I
word to
paid
your
the
debt.
price. I did it.
Yeah,
I paid the price. I mean, I'm not,
in your 20s, and you bought a house when you were 30.
yes.
Oh,
Well, you have to
interesting.
understand that when I bought my first house in 2004, like, dude, you could have been a fucking alien and bought a
Oh,
house.
that's right. Yeah, you could just sign. Yeah.
Okay, but regardless, like,
Okay.
I understand I was drowning in debt. When I met my wife, I met her at the very, very end of the line of my being able to access credit. Now, I was a single guy living in New York City. Okay, that's my excuse. There's almost no way that this is not going to happen. But like, and I'm not saying it wasn't my fault. It was, but I met my wife like my third date. Like, I'm like, like I can't pay for anything. Like, and I had to eat that. Had to eat that shit,
Mm,
right? And so it's like, dude, there's no skip steps on this path. Okay,
mhm, mhm.
I had to really accept. I accepted and I resolved for myself that I would never go into unsecured debt ever again. The only debt I like ever had was my house.
But how did you do it when Bitcoin didn't exist? That's what I said too. Like I was in fucking bunch of debt,
Yeah,
and then I did the same thing you
I
did. I was
became
like, I can't do this shit
I
anymore.
became a slave to my career at that point
Yeah,
in time.
yeah.
And also that was the moment, like, in my 20s I was grinding. I was in a very good field, but I wasn't making any money because I was too junior. But then like the debt consolidation and the maturity coincided with hitting another level where I started to become in the black.
Oh, okay.
Now that didn't make me like comfortable or anything, and that's when we started having our children,
Mm,
and so I was I learned how to live below my means. Though I was 30 years old, I learned how to live below my means, and I found Bitcoin
yeah.
at the age of 48.
Mm,
So 18 years of living below my means
mhm.
and able to save. And I wasn't like super wealthy, but
Had a
I
little
had everything
savings
I
for
wanted.
sure.
I had
Yeah.
already like if you cycle through my brain going through like, oh, what do I want in my life that I can't, like, what do I want to buy and have? I already went through everything and nothing interested me anymore. I wasn't
Mm,
like, there was no reason for me to try to ascend to another level in my career because there was nothing I wanted that badly.
mm.
What I really wanted was to get out. And that was
That's
before
fair.
Bitcoin.
Well, that's kind of what I went through too, though. Like, I gave up everything, but it's also because I didn't want anything. Like, all I wanted was sats, man.
Well,
Still,
so
all I
it's
want, to
healthy
be
and not
honest. But
healthy. Okay, like
yeah,
it's healthy and not healthy at the same time because I don't think
because
it's
your life
true.
is.
I would challenge you to ask yourself: was that authentically you, or did you just convince yourself because of the identity you wanted to be as a Bitcoiner that you convinced
No,
yourself you were above material things.
no, I think that's actually true
Well, then
about
you're
me. I didn't
blessed,
want.
right? Then you're blessed. Congrats. What you, except for the
But like,
PlayStation. We still got to get the PlayStation.
I'm gonna get it at 300K, dude, and I have no issue waiting. That's the thing. Like, I could
Right.
have
So
bought
that's
it
the,
a thousand times, but
as much as culty and as like weirdly wrongheaded a lot of the narratives were, I do think there were strong values that were being discussed.
mhm,
And I think to the extent that you adopted those strong values and you believe that that's, who you are,
yeah,
that's something to love about yourself.
yeah. I guess I don't know.
Don't
I guess
resent that,
there's a difference between not wanting materialistic things and then also giving up whatever it is in your life that makes you happy to, like, what would the term be? Oh, what is it? High time preference, low time preference. Like, I went to too low of a time preference.
Yeah.
Like, I think that
Yes.
there is a very delicate balance here
This is
where
like,
you can worry, you can be focused so much on your future self that you forget that your present self is really all that fucking matters.
but your
Like, all that
structure,
matters.
your strength, the structure of your life can only support a certain time preference. If you go any lower, you are going to break yourself
Yeah.
if you don't have
And
the
then
structure to support it.
mhm,
It's very hard to maintain a low time preference. It's easy to get it. It's easy to adopt one. It's easy to, in a moment, say, oh, yes, long term is important. But like,
mhm,
an hour later, it's actually what, like, you have life to live. An hour later,
yeah.
you're on a date and you want to pay, it's, or an hour later you want things. It's hard, or you get in a car accident, or something happens that, or like you have a life, a chaotic life that can't hold that time preference longer than you know longer than a minute, right?
Mhm, mhm.
It's all about building. That's what I mean by the upgrade. Like, part of it is we have to build ourselves to be sturdier people so we can have the lower time preference, and it could be longer lasting. And it needs to be longer lasting because you can't rely on the price of Bitcoin to go up every 4 years like you used to. So you have to be able to maintain that longer. We have to be better. We have to have better structures, more sturdy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, having a low time preference is meaningless if your current life is shit.
Well,
Like,
it's unsustainable and it's
it's unsustainable.
pointless.
Yeah, you're gonna lose yourself.
And it
You're gonna absolutely lose your mind
my problem is the
thinking too far into the
moralization.
future.
My problem is the moralization of it, like to make you think that it's moral to have a low time preference. Like, to me, that is an absurdity.
Mm,
And that's what people get caught up in.
yeah,
It's not moral. It's no more moral than the concrete that holds up a bridge. It's just works. But it's like you have to have the human quality to do it or develop it. Right.
mm, mm,
People one thing you gave me shit about, I know you gave me shit about this, was when I talked about how I still had fiat savings. Right.
yeah, no, it's
And like,
stupid.
but
Why
I'll
would
tell
do
you,
that?
that is because I understand how low my time preference can be for my life to work. And people who go beyond that end up having just certain stresses that I was I was not ready. I was not ready for. I'm still not.
I guess so. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my psycho Bitcoiner's coming out again too. It's like, if you have enough savings to handle any given issue that comes up in your life, then the price of Bitcoin doesn't really matter. Like, just
Right. But
save your money in
when you're
Bitcoin.
older and
But then you're scared. I don't know. It depends if you're scared about selling too. Some people, maybe that's
well,
it.
that's
Maybe you're
right. So
scared to sell.
it puts you into a certain state of stress that like I'll just tell you, if by some weird, there's some alternative universe where my wife and I were totally on the same page about Bitcoin, right?
Hmm.
Maybe I could have held less fiat in that. I probably held less fiat in that universe.
Hmm.
But like, it's more important for me I'm more devoted to my wife than I am to upholding the qualities of a good Bitcoiner.
Sure.
You understand?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
And that doesn't mean I'm
I'm not
cucked.
fucking.
I'm not like cucked or anything. It's just more like I do
No,
respect.
do whatever. Yeah,
I
do whatever
respect
makes
the
sense
boundaries of what, like, part of what makes my life work is that I haven't entirely shit on and disrespected, like, even though my wife doesn't do the work to understand this thing, right? I still have to operate in some reasonable level of comfort that she can live in this, that she lives in this world. And
you. That's fair.
right, converting everything into Bitcoin is just would completely, it would destroy any possibility of us finding each other.
I guess I don't know. I disagree.
It is what it is. Well, I'm saying, but that's my judgment.
I'm not saying put all your money in Bitcoin because you're gonna be a good fucking Bitcoiner. I'm saying, like, I do it because it just makes more sense. Like, people talk like,
yeah, but you have to earn the right to do it. You have to have a structure. You have to have your life have a certain structure, I think, to be able to do that.
I don't think so.
If you and you have to understand that I built my life around not, it's like the way I built my life was built. The majority of it was built for a world that Bitcoin didn't exist. It does have to ease its way in slowly.
Sure.
And if I guess I probably did bring it in at a speed that it wrecked some things. And I think it's probably good to do that, but not too much that you wreck yourself.
Yeah, I know. I contradict myself. I'll be like, yeah, Bitcoin doesn't solve all your problems, but you should definitely have all of your money in Bitcoin. But that's just because I don't trust the banks, because they're just going to keep printing, right? Like, I don't know. Do what makes sense to you.
And that's what people need to do, right? It's like, if
sure.
fuck you. Like, and that's my attitude. Like, especially when I it was a boost you left, and you were like, "Oh, this fucking guy said he had some fucking fiat savings or something." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude."
Unlikely that I sent a boost. I don't.
Or so, it was, yeah, or maybe it was just a comment in the Telegram group,
Yeah.
And that was you kicking the tires on me, and that's fine. But for me, I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." I know I am the sovereign.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't care about being a good Bitcoiner. I care about being sovereign to myself
sure.
Right, and that's really what it's about. And I don't need to explain myself to people.
Well,
despite having 5 podcasts.
If you want to be sovereign to yourself, then you should simply put all your money in Bitcoin and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and then you're there.
Fair enough. Touche.
I don't know, man.
Touche.
I love you, dude. I appreciate you. I hope I don't sound like I feel like I'm always sounding like I'm crashing out on every single fucking podcast I do lately, but it's fine. I don't know.
It is what it is, dude. It's okay. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, dude. It is what it is. You have to, like, my wish for you, that you have to, my wish for you is that you just accept that it is what it is right now.
Yeah. That's what I do.
And
I come on shows
because
and
it's
speak
you.
my mind. Hopefully people appreciate it.
Dude, you're a high quality person.
Ooh, you too.
And because
Thanks, man.
Don't feel like you have to do that. I'm just saying, because you are a high quality person, you can accept whatever whatever it is that it has to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I view my relationship with God is that when things aren't working, it's because it's probably because I need to build strength for what's coming.
That's right. Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's how I reconcile that it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't found work in 2 years. I haven't found paid work. I have a lot of unpaid work.
Yeah, you've been working.
I work, yes. I haven't found paid work in 2 years. It's funny how we still use this language, right? But like, and I wonder, why does it have to be this slow for me? Because, and I think it's
to do what you want to do.
No, I think it has to be this slow for me because I'm going to be somebody that people need to trust. And I have to spend this time building it, and that's how I reconcile it. I do really think this. I was having this conversation today with a friend of mine. Like, if you really want to be somebody who's like a leader, right? You can't skip steps, and this is just how it has to be. And this is what my wife and I seem to understand on a very loose way. But without trust in God, we'd be dead. We would be cooked. Mm-hmm. And so that it's like that is the most important thing.
100%, dude. 100%. No, I appreciate you, man. I just, it, it's like you said, it's so rare to find people to talk to that will actually even listen, let alone have advice or feedback on what you say. And so I'm just thankful that I found the friends that I have in this internet crazy space that we have. And I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the chat, dude.
All right, we can.
Like, it's just,
yeah. I mean, I want to tell you, dude. Like, I love you. I fucking love you, man. Like, I hope I really do hope I've proved worthy of somebody that you do call for, when you're in the shit.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be that guy for you. I'm happy to be one of those guys for you. Oh, absolutely, always. And that, like, you've helped me see how I add value in this space. Because Bitcoin's not for me. Like, I'm not the group. I'm not part of that cohort, but I am definitely somebody who can help you guys with my life experience.
Absolutely, man. No, and you're good at it. Keep doing what you're doing. We should all just keep doing the things that you're good at and what you want to do, regardless of even if it makes sense or not, I guess, to anybody else. If it makes sense to you to do something, you should do that.
Well, that's what makes you sovereign.
That's what I'm trying to figure.
What makes you sovereign is that you know what's right for you, and you get to do that no matter what anybody else thinks. Mm-hmm. Right? You know what the right thing is. Nobody has to agree with you.
Hopefully.
Well,
it's hard. It's hard when you don't know what the right thing is.
That is where that is why, that's where, for me, that's where God lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why it's so important to me, because if I'm a LARP, if I'm LARPing my relationship to God, I run the risk of being on wild goose chases and wasting my time in life and wrecking, really the likelihood of me rugging my family and things like that starts to go very high. Mm-hmm. Right. But like, in order for me to be in this world where I'm not getting paid, right, that the stakes are so high that I cannot afford to not be straight with God.
Yes, I like that. The stakes are so high that you can't.
When I was earning a salary, I never thought this, so I didn't need God. Didn't matter.
And that's where I went wrong. That's where I went wrong too. Like, I got it all figured out by myself. I don't need nobody. I don't need God. I don't need nothing. And then you realize, like, you're nothing without God. You can't figure it out on your own. That's for sure.
Well, it's very rich. I could get lucky, I guess, but that's no way to go. That's no way to do this. I can't make promises and I have to know that I have a fighting chance of keeping my word, right? My word to my family. And in 2 years, nobody's been rugged. We still live in the house. My kids are still in their schools. We still open the pool every year. No one's been rugged. We haven't even come close, right? We're good. Like, I'm good. I'm keeping my word, right? Everyone still has their life. But in order for me to feel like, I have to know that I have a fighting shot of keeping my word, right? So I have to be close to building. So I've built 20 things, hoping one of them catches, right? That's how I've done it. I can't go much longer, but I trust in God that it's going to happen. Like, I just do. Mm-hmm. And I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your path is, you got to follow the path that God laid out for you. Just be hopeful that you can find it, dude.
And God, but God wants you to love yourself. I can assure you that. And maybe that's why He sent Jesus to show us that everyone's worthy of love.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing too. I think you would do well to read the Bible, the New Testament, calling to you.
I have been, believe it or not. And because I'm not like, I just was born to I was born to a Jew broad mom and a Jewy dad who didn't raise me with God at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what their relationship is, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know much about their relationship to God. I know but I have always had one.
Okay.
and they've never dissuaded me from having one. And they, but it's like, it's not conforming to it doesn't conform to any religious rules. It's just been my personal journey. So I'm like very open, dude. If I was touched by Jesus, if he comes to me tonight, dude, I'm all in. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude,
Yeah, dude.
let's ride.
That's the, like, that's, I don't know. You find great things in life, you want to share them with people, and you find shitty things in life, you want people to avoid them. And I don't know. I just feel like I've had lots of experiences on both positive and negative, and I see somebody doing something shitty, I'm like, stop that. And I find
Yeah.
something good, I'm like, hey, do this, and it's nice to find people to be in a community with, to share those things with.
This is it.
So,
And at some point on my Bitcoin journey, I had to make a decision. Like, am I going to be like the best Bitcoiner I can be, or is it important for me to bring my family with me, regardless of what they're willing to do? And I made a conscious choice. I said it's more important, and that's not a moral choice, or it's not even the right choice. That's my choice. And obviously, I mean, my kids, that was an easy decision, but like, with my wife, who I was married to for 20 plus years, you would be lying to say you didn't think about whether or not you were moving too fast and whether or not you were being held back or something like that. And I just kind of dug deep and said, I want my wife to be with me more than I don't, and I'm going to just pray that this works. And I had to make that. That's a choice that I made. That is mine to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the right choice. I really do. Like, I'm really starting to see that, like, in terms of this is gonna sound gay, but like, in terms of my ability to feel loved, that like me making that choice was a big deal. Like, my wife existing in my life matters a lot towards me being able to feel like I'm loved, because I don't have Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's interesting you say that. Yeah, that was one thing I struggled with for a long time, was the ability to be loved or feel like I'm worthy of it, or anything like that. And I had somebody in my life that did love me, and I didn't treat her right, and that was another. Like, I don't know, man. I made a lot of fucking mistakes in the past 5 years. I could go on and on, and I just like you said, if humanity is fucking evolving, if we're actually leading into something better, then how do I say this? It's like, if the crash outs are going to continue. You just got to learn your fucking lessons, like you said. And I think I was just LARPing, thinking that I learned lessons, and I hadn't. And now I'm just like trying to start this new, I don't want to say new version of myself. That's like the gayest thing ever, but like,
no, it's not.
New era of my life.
It's not maybe, gay, dude.
New era of my life where, I've learned a lot in the past 5 years, and I'm just trying to figure out how to start to share that with other people, whether they're further ahead in life than me or somewhere behind. It's like, I think sharing your individual story is so important. I think like Corey and Luke, they had an episode where they just talked about themselves. I was like, this was so fucking raw. I hadn't heard a podcast in a long time that was just like, wow, these dudes are being aggressively honest. I want to learn how to do that. I want to be better at that. And so that's my new goal, is just to be aggressively honest, and just talk about problems and talk about triumphs and all that shit. And it's like, I don't know. That's one thing I'm not good at yet. So I got to work.
You have to love yourself. That's the first step of all of that. And it's like,
you got to be okay with, you got to be okay with who you are, for sure.
Like, reinventing yourself is a important and good thing, but not as a rejection of your former self.
Yeah.
Like, I love myself, like, for being as woke as I was. I really do. Like, because that was a guy that cared about people, and I just was dumb, but I still love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I realized too. I'm like, man, you just got to be okay with the mistakes that you've made.
I didn't understand
Realize
what a
that
sheep like. I didn't understand that like what bigger fish were controlling all like
yeah,
the things
you're
I believed.
doing
I didn't understand that.
you do the best with the information you have at the given time, and you
But
just have to realize you make for the most part people are making the best choices that they know how to,
I will,
given the
but
information they
I
have.
will always love that
Being
guy. I mean, like when I honestly, you can tell like the most cringy shit that I've done in my life. I still it like it's a discipline
mhm,
that I
mhm.
it's a discipline that I love. I love all of those versions of myself. I love every version of myself I've ever been. It's
I
really
like that.
important.
That's what that's one of the things that I've been focusing on is just like being okay with how stupid I was for so long. That's hard to do, man. It's hard.
It's
You have to actively work on it. Be
yes,
like,
yes.
oh, why did I do that? Why am I so stupid? It's like, listen,
It's
you did the best you could with the information you had at the given time. You've learned from it. You've grown from it.
It's
You
accepting
can't be
yourself.
mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accept yourself for who you are and who you're not.
Hmm. Exactly.
And have you ever heard the acronym for shame that like should have already mastered everything?
Yeah, that's funny. No, I haven't heard that.
You
That's
know,
pretty
I mean,
cool.
these things are, you know, yes, they tend to be like for like, you know, women who watch daytime TV, but like you have to do this work on yourself.
Yeah. I think, yeah, maybe that's why I take issue with the term Bitcoiner. It's like, I'm just looking at the Bitcoiner version of myself. Like, what an asshole that guy was. Like, what a fucking dork, you know? Just like, oh, everything's going to be awesome. I'm so much better now.
It's
It's like,
part of
no,
the
dude.
process, man.
It's part of growing, though. It's part of growing. You just got to realize it's part of, yeah, it's part of the process.
Dude, you're never going to
And,
be anything unless you commit to things like that this way. Unless
mhm,
you commit in this way, when you commit this deeply, you're never going to be anything unless you continue to commit this deeply. So you
yeah.
don't want to kill that,
No, I get that.
right? And you're
Yeah,
just
I just
these
think
are hashes. Like it's a hash. You didn't,
that's a fun way to say that.
you know?
I think, yeah, I think
That's how a good
saying you're a
Bitcoiner would
Bitcoiner
view it.
is, I think, yeah, I just think saying you're a Bitcoiner is a fucking cop out. That's all.
Well,
It's a cop.
weak times don't just create strong men, dude. Strong men actually create themselves. And
That's cool. Nice.
you know what I mean? Like we act like,
Yeah.
oh, weak times are here. Now here comes strong men.
Hard times. Hard times create strong men.
Hard times.
It's true.
Yeah, but they don't.
Hmm.
That's not how it happens, right?
Hmm. You can put yourself in hard times too, right? Like,
It's a
you can't just,
grueling process with pretty much it's going to look almost the entire time it's going to look like there's no benefit to it.
hmm, hmm,
That's how strong men are built. Okay. Like you really lost the lottery in a certain way if you are the one that has to become the strong man. But also you are but when you have the context of God, that makes that look differently.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean though, right? But it's
You
like
won
you are
absolutely won the lottery.
yeah, it's a shit sandwich to be the generational guy that has to take that on. It's hard. And there's no glory in it, but there's glory in God. I guess maybe that's a good way to end the podcast. I don't know.
I like that, man. I like that a lot.
All right.
That's good. I think hopefully we said something useful. Love